you have to do first is you need dudes. I mean, you need kids. We struggle at South getting enough kids to play football. It wasn't always like that. But over the last 7, 8 years, our numbers have gone down. And so I gotta love these guys a little bit more. I gotta be a little bit more tolerant. I gotta be a better teacher, like Mike was saying earlier. But we gotta get guys. If you want to be good at football, you have to get kids out there to play. And so we're working on that. Last year in week 7, we were playing, we made the playoffs for 10 straight years. It was actually 9 straight years. It would have been our 10th straight year last year. And we got beaten week 7 when we didn't make the playoffs. And we got whooped by Sweet on that day. And they had some better athletes than we do. We couldn't defend them in space. We were running a 4-2-5. Going, this sucks. We can't play defense anymore. What's going on? And unlike what Mike had said earlier, we switched. We had these 2 bonus games that they give you at the end of your season here in Section 6. And so we were going to play Amherst, and we're going to play McKinley, hopefully. And we were going to switch it. So we switched to the 4th. Why do we do it? Because I think it helps. It's easier, as some guys are saying, it adapts to all the modern offenses that we see. I think the run fits are easier in 4-3 rather than 4-5. I like the variations of coverages that it allows us to have. We can play 7 men in the box all the time, but we can get 8 and 9 on our safeties. For our personnel, we're not really big. We might have 2 fat kids, and they play the 3 and the 1. But everybody else is like a 180-pound athlete for us now. And I don't know what happened to big kids. I blame Michelle Obama for changing the fucking school lunches. Right? So now all these little kids are skinny. Right? They're eating cauliflower and greens. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But anyways, we have 185-pound kids that we have to play at defensive end. So that's what we have. I think single safeties are useless, in my opinion, as a defensive guy. When you put one guy in the middle of the field and they call him a safety, well, that's what he is. He backpedals and he's never part of the play. And then it allows us to utilize undersized defensive linebackers. Let's just talk about, get to this. We identify open close sides just like you all do. We identify a 3-man surface. That's an important side for us. Now the 3-man surface might be an unbalanced look if they tackles over. 3-man surface might be just to the tight end side. We're looking to play our 3 to the 3-man surface. So in this formation, or this schematic up here, our tackle, who we call the 3 tech, he plays in the 3-man surface if there is one. If there isn't one, we're not always to the field. We're not always to, it depends on who we're playing that week. If our kid is a good player and their kid is not a good player at guard, then we want to put our best player on their weakest guard. We've been fortunate to have a nose guard at Williamsville South the last 3 years, and he's come back this year, Jamel Jones. He's an animal. I don't coach guys like that. He's the best defensive lineman I've ever coached. But we will put Jamel in a 2-eye, our nose will play to a 2-eye, unless your center sucks. Because if your center's the weak link, then we'll put him on 1 and we'll just have him. He's going to have to get double teamed out all day. And if he gets double teamed out, then that allows these guys to run. In regards to what we do and what we're going to do, we will always play outside to the 3-man surface. I have for the last 12, 14 years, play that guy in a 6, walk up to outside linebacker, read the tight end 2x2, see what his release is, It's just a different skill set. And I'm tired of teaching kids 3 different skill sets. And so I want these guys to read one thing only, whether they're outside of the box and apex between the tackle and the number 2 receiver, or if they're inside the tight end shoulder. So we're going to read different things. So we're always going to be the 9 to a tight end. Now, just for our personnel calls, our buck is what we call the boundary linebacker. Our Kong, which has to be our best athlete, plays to the field often. Our middle linebacker, and I don't know what you guys are finding at your schools. We can't find linebacker type of kids. what the 4-2-5 was, and why we got away from it is, you needed two cats inside. And we don't have one. And so if you're going to play a 4-2-5, you need two guys who can play inside linebacker. Well, we do a lot of different things, and we really don't have those kids. We had a kid last year, 175 pounds, at the end of the season, and if you guys know what modified football is, he says to me, he said, Coach, I thank you for letting me play this year. I started every game. I said, yeah, you did, Jim. He said, I couldn't even play in the 5th quarter in 8th grade in modified. I'm like, fuck. And then I say, well, yeah, we didn't make the playoffs, but it's okay. But he gave everything. But that's what we had. And it is what it is. I just want to talk about, like I said, against pro, we're going to play a 3. We're going to play what we call a 9 to the tight end with a 3-man surface. We will, and I don't know if this makes sense to anybody, if our defensive ends gets reached, he's not going to fight the reach block. We want him to beat the reach block, but he will then come underneath the B gap and play B gap. We're not going to fight that. So if the tight end or whoever, the offense tackle, if he's reached us, don't keep fighting it. You come under, somebody will come over and make you run. And that somebody's the outside linebacker or the safety. So that's just one thing that we're going to be able to do. And that's why I always want that guy outside. He doesn't have to worry about getting double teamed. So I can put a little bit better athlete there. And hopefully he doesn't get reached. We would prefer to set the edge of the defense with our defensive ends. We would like our safeties to come straight downhill and then fan out. We're going to be a spill team. We're going to spill everything. And that's what I just said may be counterproductive or counterintuitive to what you just said. I want the end to force everything. I want him on the heels of the defense, or the offensive lineman. I want the ball to go to the sideline. I want 7 guys who can run. That's what we want, because we're not real big. And then I'll show you some. In regards to spread, we're going to play the apex with our Kong, which is our field linebacker. Down and distance tells him where to go. Game plan tells him where to go. If they're a team that does not throw hitches, or can't throw very well at all, then they'll climb into the box a little bit, obviously. If they're a team that throws it around pretty well, then we have to do something with the buck, which is the boundary linebacker, and the con, which is the outside linebacker of the field. We call our weak side safety, or boundary safety rover, and our field safety is just our free. And so, we do like to have 2 different corners. I think your best corner has to play to the boundary, but you're going to try to single him up. I like the longest throw to the worst cornerback. So if we have 2 different types of athletes, we'll put our better corner to the boundary. We'll put our worst corner to the field, just because it's a longer throw. In regards to what he's like, what kind of a player this kid is, last year he was a sophomore for us. I don't know, 6'1", 108 pounds. Should be able to tackle well, and should be able to be a good blitzer. Not necessarily have to cover people well. The better coverage guy for us will be the buck. And so, like, if we want to spin it to cover 1, I'm going to blitz our best athlete, or non-coverage guy, and I'm going to let him cover 2 and roll and do that stuff. So we like to get our Kong, our field outside linebacker should be a really good player for us. And in the 4-2-5, he was setting the edge all the time. He doesn't necessarily have to do that in this defense. You better have trips adjustments, which we do. Really the only trips adjustment we make is that our outside, our linebacker to the trip side plays in between 2 and 3. That's just a base alignment. I drew it wrong. He should be back here, of course. But our buck will climb into the box. And so I guess this is 4-2 principle, because it's silly to have the buck out here. We're going to have to increase our aptitude inside the box there, so we have to bring the buck in the box. I'll talk about coverages in a few minutes, but it depends on what your kids are good at. And I'm going to show you. I want to talk. It's not traditional quarters we play. I'm going to try to get to that, and so I'm trying to get through all this crap. Here's just today's lesson, but I just this all sense. Terminology is ours, right? I'm sure you do some. We do move a lot up front. We do move those guys. Like Mike was saying, and I know that you're doing talk, we move those guys. We have to. We're not big, so we want to run. But that's just a turnaround. If you don't want any of this, you can have it. So anyways, let's talk about how we read things now. So our outside linebackers, and here I drew it up against spread a 2x2, or what we call 2x2, and the running backs to my side. So I'm going to read through the near hip to the near back. The near hip of the elbow, in this case the offensive tackle, to the near back. And what we got to, and what we're going to get better at, is we are reading this in the diagram number 3. And so I'm looking at 3 here, and I'm going to get my base read off the hip, because I'll be able to see a pass set out of the tackle if I'm just staring through his hip. I'm not watching the tackle. There's merit to doing that, but if you're a good linebacker and you have what I call high beam vision, like you can see, like I'm looking right now at Coach Deitch who's filming me, but I can see Coach Heim over there and I can see somebody sitting by the window. I can see all of that stuff. If I'm telling him to watch the tackle, I can't see any of that stuff. So we're going to skim the tackle hip, but I should be able to see the tackle pull, I should be able to see the tackle down block, and I should be able to see the tackle kick set. So those are primary, those are reads we take. But we're reading the back. And so now, here's the thing, and I think this is a good coaching point, I don't know if you guys do this. When the back crosses the face of the quarterback, ball comes and he presents it, we will be staring at the back of the running back. So as the running back goes across the face of the quarterback, our eyes are here. All right, and the reason our eyes are there, if Coach Fat is the outside linebacker, he's reading my back. If the quarterback's hands come back, Mike's now going to see my hands as soon as there's no ball there. All right? If I pull here, where's the ball coming? To the back of the running back. So I'm going to be able to get a ball run pass read faster than if I'm watching linemen or if I'm watching did the running back have the ball. So we watch, and I don't know if that makes any sense, we're watching the back of the running back. Because if I get open hands, I know the ball is gone, it's a run, or what else can it be? Zone read? No. Can't be because the quarterback don't have the ball. So I'm going to fit into the box and I'm going to fold back in. So when we have a near back read, that'll be our first read if the back goes away from us. Obviously if the back comes at us, we're getting some sort of a jet look or quarterback sweep or something from the backside. So we're going to try to set the edge off at number 2 if I'm the call. Now if I get hooked or if I get blocked by 2 because I'm in a bad position already because I'm inside leverage at 2, then the free safety is going to make me right. And I'll show you some of this stuff on film. So if 2 comes down to block Kong, then the safety has to make him right, and hopefully that happens. Inside lead, I'm folding in, right? Like if my key goes in, it's probably quarterback ISO, I'm folded in. Finally, if it says here, kick slide by the offense tackle. And if you watch film, and I know you guys do, this dude will tell me it's passed many times before these guys. Because these dudes, when they don't get the ball, or they're blocking, pass blocking, Coach Langworthy just said he takes this guy and runs my routes because they can't pass block. They do this. That's what they do. Watch them on film. They're lazy kids. Usually if they don't get the ball, they don't want to block anybody. That's why they play running back and watch the ball. But anyway, so if we get a lazy running back or a kick slide by the offensive tackle, then we know we're pass dropping. But that's what we're reading at the backs on our side. And I hope that makes some sense. Away from it, we're just doing the same kind of thing, but we're reading the quarterback, or in this case, split gun. We're going to read the near back. Same read through the hip of the tackle to the back. Same kind of concepts here. All right. Here, because it's as I've drawn it in the diagram, this buck or this B is responsible for B gap. So on near ball flow, he's going to be fitting in here. Now, if our Mike is a good player, he should get there first, and then he's gonna fit off of who's not right. He'll never go past the B gap unless he's sure that the ball is gone to the next sideline. So our coaching point for these dudes, don't get past the B gap. Don't get lost inside. You will make tackles here in the B gap at 3 yards, and that's okay. Right? That's okay. When he is in the box, again, I'm going to read this, the hip of the tackle to the near back. That's why I like that read, because he's always reading the same guy to tackle. If the tackle's covered by a lineman, which we don't get in our front, that will be harder to do. But for our call and our block, if they're climbing into the box, they're going to read through the hip of the tackle, see the down blocks, that kind of stuff. And if we're getting a tight end team that week, then obviously we're going to work and rep that all week in regards to what that guy can do. He can double down on the three, he can pull, he can kick slide, he can kick out or run the X block. So, but that's stuff that we would work on. So those are just our reads. In regards to two-back, and I probably should, 40 minutes is apart. I should probably tell you what the safeties do too. In one back, our safeties read the number 2 receiver. So we're in a single back offense. Our safeties, the rover and the free, read number 2's release. All right. In two back, they're going to run. Our safeties are going to read the backs. All right. In two back offenses, like here, we have some sort of a two-back set. Whether they're split or like this formation here, our safeties are going to read backs in that. And there's a reason for that. We need to get once, because they're +1 in here, because they have an extra back. We need to get a safety down into the box, so we have to read the 2 running backs. So that makes sense once you see teams that run back. But if there is only 1 running back, then our safeties are going to read the release of 2. So that's something a little different, and just something that's worked for us. Two-back gun, we're just reading the near back. And that's a bitch. Again, our safeties will be helping us. We get that +1 defender out of our safeties here. All right, so I want to talk, most of what I want to talk about was coverage today. If you're all here, you know some defense. We do pattern read our quarters. We do read the number 2 receiver in the corner, whatever, and I'll talk about that. But we're untraditional in our regular, just what we call quarters, so I want to talk about that. So our coverages are this. We play quarters. Call coming to the huddle is Q, or quarters, and essentially for us, it's a 4 deep zone with 4 eyes on the quarterback, or 8 eyes on the quarterback, 4 defenders' eyes on the quarterback. And then our outside linebackers, all right, they just stare at the quarterback. On the snap of the ball, they get the run pass read, and if it's run, they're going to be involved. But if it's pass, where did the quarterback open up? Now, I challenge you to go back and watch your film and see how many high school quarterbacks look one way and throw the other. Doesn't happen. I'm telling you right now. I went out we were at the passing league last Sunday, and I asked Coach Chime, I said, well, I want you to watch. It was Lancaster, Canisius, it's Joe's. I said, I want you to watch every quarterback here today and see how many times he looks the other way and throws it over. Not one time did it happen in the 2 hours we're out there. So, for me, take my outside linebacker, when he gets a pass read, to drive out the number 1, for what reason? Especially if the quarterback's open up the other way. So we don't do that anymore. We're going to get eyes on the quarterback right now. And so our outside linebackers have to have eye discipline, and they're looking at the front side of the shoulder, or the front shoulder of the quarterback. If he's here, they'll keep getting depth. But if I'm the quarterback looking right down the channel, then they're getting depth. If I open up a certain way, then they're going to push that way. All 3 guys. And we're going to get the backs to each side flat up, or whatever flat that is. So that's how we play our quarters. That's what we call quarters. If we're playing pure, we're pattern reading that. All right, we're going to pattern read that. And what pure is to us is we tell our outside linebackers, you're pure run game guys right now. You are pure run game guys. We're going to put 7 guys in the box, you are a pure run player. And so if we get a two receiver side, we pattern read that, and I'll talk about that in a second. So anyways, here's our pure, right? Like he's a run player, strong run player. That's what I tell him. We're in pure. Pure tells these two cats that they're responsible for those two cats. That's all it is. Alright? If we get the bubble out of 2, then corner goes, gets it, the safety gets over the top of number 1. Simple game. Alright, if we get the out of 2, he'll collision 1, play the out late, and then he gets over the top of 1. So we do pattern read that, we get 2 verticals, they just take it. That's what we call pure. I know it's cover 2 for some people, but we don't like to play it at the line of scrimmage. We'll play this guy usually at 4 yards. Alright, the corner will be at about anywhere from 4 to 6, depending on his ability. And our safeties are 8 to 10 yards. Again, based on their ability. But pure for us, we're just going to, these linebackers are pure run players until they realize that it's pass. And then once they do realize it's pass, they're going to get guys in the prize, their eyes are in the prize, which is the quarterback, see where the ball goes. And so that's what we call pure. All right. Quarters, a cue for us, everybody has their fourth. We're not getting beat down the field. We will get beat in the flat, maybe, and we will get beat sometimes on hitch. But if you can't tackle a 5-yard route, then you're not going to win anyway. You can't cover everything. That's what I have learned. It took me 28 years to know that. You can't cover everything. But you can play the next down and win the next down. In regards to how we play pure in trips, we call it special. We would have a different name for this. We're going to take our outside linebacker, and in trips, he plays man for man on number 3. So if the call was pure in the huddle, and they came out in the trip set, then we're going to man number 3, and we're going to play pure here on 1 and 2. We're going to pattern read that. All right. This guy's going to climb in the box. He's going to play 2 out of the backfield if he has it. The bench here is for the Mike playing 3 out of the backfield. All right, that would be a long run. One thing that, because Mike has to defend 3 sometimes on a flare behind the trips, we have to set the 1 tech or the 2 eye away from the trips. So now he's gapped out 1 more gap towards the trip side, so he can wall off 3 in our regular trips game, or have a better angle and play number 4 out of the backfield. So anyways, we can play pure out of trips. We can play Q out of trips, or just our regular quarters out of trips. It's a little bit dicier because they can throw 3 hitches at us, but I don't particularly like that. What we would do is, here's my quarters coverage, or our quarters coverage. Again, quarters, these guys are just going. I haven't said this, and I will say this. If we're in Q, which is a quarters field coverage for us, everybody's going backwards. The corner will play bubble. Or the corner will play some sort of a quick game out of number 1. So, for example, rocket screen or jailbreak, if he takes a step and gets the ball, corner's going. And safety's getting over the top, and it essentially becomes a 3-deep zone at that point. But we're not just going to keep bailing if you keep running bubble or stop or quick. We're going to go get that at the corner spot. But if he gets a vertical release out of number 2, then he should keep beating depth, the corner that is. And so our quarter is a little bit different. Because those guys play like cover 2 corners if they get bubble or quick. They play cover 4 if they get anything vertical out of number 2. So again, I don't know if that's different, but that's how we try to teach it. Our secondary coverage of trips is just quarters. All right, right now, cover 6, quarter, half on the backside. The problem with this coverage, and everybody runs it, the problem is 3 vertical, right? Who handles 3 vertical, right? It's usually the backside safety. That's how we handle that. All right. And the problem is who gets to the wall of number 3. If 3's running hitch, that guy's not really good usually. He can't usually get there because he's a run player, such a strong run player. So dollar, what we call dollar cover 6, It's not good for us. I don't like it. All right? You know, and we were at camp last year, and Mike kept hitting this guy right here. Stop. He did. But that's okay. That's what he does. That's why he's a good coach. And then I'm like, ah, shit. We should probably change that. But anyways, we have two other coverages that I'm not. We can man one with the corner and play pure out of 2 and 3. Or you can do all of that stuff. But so we have more than 2 coverages for this. And you have to. So let's, we don't want to do this much today. I want to show you some film, because maybe, I think it's going to be better if I show it to you. And I don't know if this will make any sense. Now, I have to, this is this year's film. We were 6 and 3. We didn't make the playoffs. And the film will be against Amherst and McEwen, teams that we played in the Funky Bowl. Yep, Funky Bowl. What that is. Let's see what we got here. I like the Funky Bowl. Alright, so here we are. And you can see a very good thing you can do when you're playing 2 safeties and you're playing linebackers apex outside, and essentially a 4-1 box would scare some people. But here we go. You can blitz. You become a much better blitz team because you have more athletes on the field and you have more coverage guys on the field. And so when we were playing our 4-5, we had 2 linebackers on the field that really couldn't cover anybody. And so we were limited as to what side we can come blitz from. So now we should have 6 kids who can cover people. All right. And so, do we play cover 1 a lot? Yes. Do we play cover 0 sometimes? Yes. We don't just play quarters, that would be dumb. But you have to have the ability to blitz people and change the tempo of the game. And so that's what we do. And so this is just it says here 4-3 offers easy way to get out of various blitzes. And so you can see as we're blitzing here, all right, 6-man pressure, we're going to go cover 0. We're going to call it Survivor this year. Our cover 0 is going to be called Survivor. Why? Because we're playing for 3 seconds hanging on, like you're riding that goddamn bull, right? Or 8 seconds, whatever. Just survive and play second down. And then we get pressure here. And again, pressure wins all the time, as you know. And so that's what we want to do. All right. So here we are at our more traditional look. I don't know, maybe I'm just a nerd like this. I love when I turn on the film and I see good stances. I don't know why that is important to me, because usually a good stance means that you're going to have a good result. It drives me crazy when I see kids with bad stances. And so that's one of the things that, you talk about making a habit, that's one of our habits, getting a good stance. And if you can't play, unless you're really good. Alright, so here we are, just base. And then I have a box here. You can see it here. Now, what he knew, I'm looking at the field linebacker here. This kid here, Jeremy. He's a sophomore. He's kind of too tight for my liking. But he has quarterback read because the running back is opposite him. So he's going to see what the quarterback does with the ball. And so he sees the quarterback go back. Now he's looking right at him to start. And he feels this receiver, this number 2 running this little out here. We're in Q. We're in Q. He's supposed to be spot dropping to the quarterback. And you can see our 4 back guys are continuing to go backwards. So, don't know what we like to teach. And there's so many things, man. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But we teach our corners to the field to tip in. We get a visual on what I call the channel, which is the quarterback center exchange. So I want that visual. So he's tipped here, John. He's not a really good athlete. All right. Coach Exum, you know that from wrestling, right? He didn't win many wrestling matches. But he's a great kid. And so he can play. He does what he's asked to do. So anyways, you can see the safety. He knew he had the out of number 2. And here's the thing I think that's also different about our quarters. He is not going to rob number 1. Because what would happen traditionally in pure quarters, a robber, is once 2 went out, he would double 1. But what I have found over the years is when you do that and they run the wheel out of 2, I got a guy who can't cover that. I don't want that guy to have to run all the way down on the wheel trying to catch that guy. And we're robbing the seam. That doesn't seem right to me. It would only seem right if he threw the post at this guy. But the plays that beat us here isn't the post usually. There's not many high school guys who can throw a post. Alright? It's the wheel out of 2. And so he should keep getting depth and see if the two's wheel. Now he's free to go. His eyes should be on the quarterback right now and where the ball is going. The long arm is the ball hit, that kind of stuff. You get a start coach. And then he undercuts it, our safety, because he took a bad step and keep going, coach. And then, but again, John did a nice job of stacking it. So we like Robert, but it's not good. I might go to the next play if you can afford it. We'll rob. Yeah, I talk. We rob against pro I teams or tight end teams. We don't necessarily rob against spread teams. So here we go. This is good. They're in trips. Just notice for us, we push into the box. So our buck, which was usually playing the apex, is now in here. We should set the 1 to the trip side, which we have. The Mike should bump out to the trip side because depending on our coverage, he might have the wall of 3 here. Jeremy does a great job here. Alright. We like to set the 2 wide to the field. So Jeremy does a good job here. So this, we were playing special on this. He was reading number 3. So you let go, coach. And then he makes the play there. Again, he was a sophomore. That was a 6th varsity football game. He's going to be a good player for us. He's also 195 pounds now. Now, one of the key things, components to what we try to teach and what we do, and what I think you have to do if you're going to play a 4-man front, is down block, step down. So if we get a down block, our defensive linemen have to go. If we get it back underneath the ball, it helps if you have number 21, which is, like you said, it was first team All-Western New York and second team All-State. So you can let it go, but these guys should be down block and stepping down, getting the ball. This dumb shit, number 72, go back to the beginning. He doesn't do it. Alright? And so by essentially what 72 does, and you know what 72 is, right, X?
Yes, I do.
Alright, another wrestler. But hold it right, just stop when it starts to play, coach. Alright, right there. So now if 72 down blocks and steps down through the B gap, then this outside linebacker would now become the CD gap player, and the safety running down will be back. But 21 just beats his down block, and he makes it for the next player. So down block step down is a big key concept in what we try to do defensively. So here we're going to trip again to the top of the screen. Jeremy should be climbing into the box because he's our field outside linebacker. I don't know why he's so deep. I probably hollered at him that he was too close to the line of scrimmage. And now he's playing at 8 yards or 7 yards, whatever. But he did a hell of a read, this kid. So I said, Kong should be tight in the box. I let it go, coach. He gets the jet read and he goes. And he sets the edge and he brings it back in. Run that back, Mike. Thank you, coach, right there. He does a hell of a job. Stop right there. See, I like our head keep working up the field. He set the edge of the defense. This kid can only go back. Down block, backside tackle should be able to get there for cutback. And our safety, who's late here, he should be running the middle alley this time, not the outside alley. Because he has to he goes opposite wherever the outside linebacker goes. So let him go, coach. Again, they got 1 yard. So now here we are in trips again. Again, we're pushed in. I'd like to see him a little bit closer into the box here. All right, this is the first game we had ever played this, or second game. And then our coverage on top, I think, is solid this time. Oh, here it is. And this is why he has to climb into the box. Because if he's in there and they run this same inside zone, I don't know what McKinley's running there. Sometimes they trapped it, sometimes they zone. I don't know what their blocking schemes are, to be honest with you. It was confusing at times. But right here, he should make the play right there. But he's late to get into the box. So he has to fall and he has to tackle with his helmet up, of course. But he's not in the box enough for me and for that play. All right, here we go. Keep going, Mike, until we get to that little square so I remember what the hell this color is. Good recognition. Oh, so now this play's going to happen. Everybody does their job. All right? The ball's going to spill to our safety, who's one-on-one. And that's a play he has to make. So let it go, coach. Everybody spills it. Ball pushes. There's our safety. And he whiffs. All right, and that happens. You know, he has to make this tackle, and he doesn't. And obviously there's our field corner, and that's why he's playing corner, because he can't tackle. All right. So anyways, it is what it is. Now here, we're in Q, and I have poor eye discipline out of this guy. So it's a pass. I believe this is a pass. So his eyes should be right now on the quarterback. And if he does, it would tell him where to drop to. It would give him the angle of his, what I call his descent. Where does he have to go? Let it go, coach. All right, keep going. See, look at his eyes. There's bad eyes. All right, now, if you go back and run that play from, look where the quarterback goes. All right, where's he going? His shoulders to the sideline now. This dude is no longer a viable option. There's no way he can throw the ball to the seam guy. So here, if he was playing with real good eye discipline, he should have got right underneath number 1 here. And so that's why I don't like to give them predetermined droppers or drop areas. They should be reading the quarterback, seeing what the front shoulder did, and driving to that front shoulder. And then he could have helped on the tackle a little bit faster. All right, so that's what I talk about eye discipline. Now, if you watch number 5's eye discipline, same play. This is our corner to the boundary, our best defensive back. Watch him. He knew the ball was going over there. He got off his guy, and now we get an extra run game, defender, and pursuit, all that other stuff. So I think it's important to teach eye discipline. Let's go, Rob. Good job at 6 and 19. All right, so these guys do a good job this time with their eyes. That's what he does. He sees 2, he wills 2. And now the safety can get a pick. Again, it's a poorly thrown ball, but he read 2, so he went out, and now we can double the long ball with 1. It's simple. I know it's a shitty throw by the kid, but it's even if it was a good throw, we're 2-on-1 to where they're throwing the football. And again, if you watch the quarterback throw the ball here for McKinley, there is no other place he's going with the football. No other place. No other place. Because that's what high school kids do. Let me go like to the box, thanks. Fine work on. All right, so this kid must make a really good play. I don't know. All right, he breaks. Good. Keep finding work now, right? Number 5, nice break. So here's he tipped a little bit because he wants to see the quarterback. All right, if we can collision 2 out of our outside linebacker, we're going to get that. And then we're going to give up the hitch here. But we should put a good athlete there so he can break on the football in there, which he does. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we just like to do that. We like to eye discipline things, man. And I don't know if that's any new, but I'm tired of watching kids go to grass and cover nobody. All right, so here we are against Amherst, and this is the first time we had ever played the defense, or what we thought was. We're just going to blitz. What you have to do when you bring 5-man pressures, you have to communicate the coverage a little bit better than we did. And again, this is the first quarter of 5 days we've been working on it, and we're not very good at it yet. So they're gonna blitz, we're gonna blitz off the weak edge here, or the field edge. All right, we're gonna swing the running back that way. And our safety doesn't get the right coverage call, which is scary, because that happens. But that really should have been the middle linebacker's guy. All right, that should have been Mike's play. All right, let me go to the next one, Coach. Now I'm almost done here. All right, spill it, everyone make, this is it, and this is what I'll end out. This is great. This is good team football. We're gonna spill it, and the safety's gonna make the tackle this time. All right, Coach, let go. He's the dude who's gonna make the tackle, our safety. So everybody's working, spilling it. He's patient, and he makes the right tackle like that. And so that's what we've gotten to. I can just say that this year, this offseason has been way more productive for us. We got a lot more athletes out in the field, not that we have a shitload of athletes itself, but we have enough athletes to be okay. But that's what we do, man. And if you got one thing I hope you did, I appreciate you coming today. I love doing this. I like teaching a lot, but I love coaching football. And teaching's the vehicle that lets me do that. And I appreciate you being here, man. So thank you guys.